Good morning, Sin City, and welcome to another episode of the Social Media Show. I'm your host, Sam Dever, alongside co-host Asia Jade. Asia.
Good morning.
Welcome. And we have an extremely special guest with us here in the building, the Ted Turner of social networks himself, Jim Nico. Jim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sam and Asia. I appreciate you guys having me.
No, it's a true honor. How's everything been?
Crazed.
As usual?
Yeah, but with a goal, we have a focus and it's crazy though. I mean, it's like we're in this middle of trying to make social networks safer for kids and vulnerable adults, and it's almost a war in a way now,
Absolutely. And for those of you that don't know, Jim is actually the CEO and founder of the Social Network Station that we're proud to be a part of, and the Social Network Show. And you recently launched the Social Network Association. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's about 3.5 years in the making. It's a vision of mine that's now visual and real. Basically, the Social Network Association is the preeminent association worldwide for social networks of any kind. Like any industry, it's the association for the industry of social networks, and our goal is to bring and assist social networks and social networkers to have best practices, guided by service, safety, and sustainability. That's our bottom line.
Absolutely. And tying back to the safety, you mentioned kids. Could you go a little into that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. Well, one of the things that is very, very alarming to myself and our partners is that we have discovered that the social networks and social media has become this dangerous playground for kids. In essence, a lot of sexual predators, pedophiles, et cetera, are on networks. These are the reports we get, and to an alarming rate. And so there's a very high alert for danger to kids. Especially the most vulnerable in the world are girls first, then women, and then of course boys, and other. There's other hate groups, gays, etc. But the most vulnerable are the girls, and girls have been committing suicide, and that's really what. This isn't new, but it's getting worse. And it really is getting worse, and that's what people don't even know. A lot of people, the general public, don't know how bad it is, but that's what escalated our efforts, et cetera.
I know, Asia, you had mentioned you had told me a similar story that this was going on Facebook, and hearing from Jim. And what have you heard about what's going on?
I was just relaying to you how it was almost a sport. They were making it, it was just vicious, and they were really literally attacking these girls from their class, inviting them over, getting them drunk, paraphernalia, what have you, and then they would proceed to raping them. And the girl she'd be incoherent, she wouldn't know what was going on, and it's just sickening to me. It makes me angry that things like that are happening, that it's actually considered a sport to go out there and rape someone. That is exactly. There's no exception to that. And I followed that story. It was high school. I believe they were football players, and the girl they just knew, and they posted a picture on Facebook.
Exactly.
Of her knocked out right after, and it's just, why are you claiming her as a prize? She's not a trophy.
Exactly.
She's a human being.
And in the old days, to contrast it with the old days, it's like if something would happen at a party or a playground, that's not new. That some girl is duped into getting drunk at a party. It happened in all of our teen years. It happened, and et cetera. What is different now is that someone can flash a picture, and within seconds it can go on social media. And I liken it to the difference between an acoustic guitar and an electric guitar. You can it amplifies everything.
Oh, yeah.
And plus it's so ubiquitous in the sense that it's everywhere. If a girl is hurt on a playground, she can't escape people talking about her if she's got a phone, if it's on the internet. So everything's amplified. And that's what happened to one of the most famous cases, Amanda Todd, and Rhea Parsons in Canada is another one. And basically they were dealing with the being violated, et cetera, crimes against them, but they could never get away from the social media. Right. So we're trying to get social networks to take the responsibility for what's on their site, their playground, if you will. And that's the essence of the matter. We're not blaming them for the crimes.
Of course.
What we're asking them to do is to not allow what I coined a term, crime advertising, the amplification on their networks.
I know Facebook has taken a stand on it as well. I mean, as of last year, I read an article in 2011. They were actually amplifying these forums and groups. Some like, she wants you if she's running away from you down an alley or something like that. Just it was obvious what they were about. And they've recently it violated their terms of service, but they didn't care. I mean, they had to take that down because, like you said, it is amplified, and you, as a teenager or just a young adult, you cannot escape that. I mean, even if you don't have a phone, you cannot escape that. I mean, your friends know, people know. You take a picture on Instagram, it's across the world.
Exactly. And so what are we doing? So the Social Network Association, Amanda Todd, who hung herself after being her crimes against her were actually, some of them were done on social networks. Yeah. And off, but amplified certainly. Her mom, Carol Todd, is been very courageous and is one of the leaders of the Let's Make It Online Safety, make online safety our priority. Couple of things, a couple of places to go to stay on the cutting edge of this. At Red Hood Project on Twitter. RedHoodProject.com is the result of prosecutor Sandy Garasino in Canada, an associate of Carol Todd's and mine. She's on the Social Network show regularly now talking about what's going on and what they're doing. And one of the most important things that's happened, just to give you a feel for this, is that, Red Hood Project, and it's RedHoodProject.com. They wrote a letter to Sheryl Sandberg, the chief operating officer for she's either chief operating officer or chief safety officer. I'm not sure the exact title, but it's there. It will draw you to redhoodproject.com and at Red Hood Project on Twitter. The essence of the matter is, and I signed the letter, basically, and Sheryl Sandberg is very important at Facebook because she has brought in money. She's about making money on Facebook. A letter was written to her by Red Hood Project asking her to respond. And it's very, very well written. And Raffi, the most famous child singer in the world, he sings for children in the world, is part of Red Hood Project. And Sheryl Sandberg, to this day, to my knowledge, at least as of this weekend, never answered the letter from Facebook. And she's got a book out herself. And then after Raffi was on our show, Raffi suggested that I tweet Sheryl Sandberg and invite her on the Social Network show, and she never answered. And I also sent a message to her through LinkedIn, and she never answered. And I sent another message through LinkedIn and Twitter. So I wanted to get her, invite her onto the show to talk this over, just as human beings. She's a mom. She's on one of the boards of Disney, et cetera, and no response. Mm-hmm. And this letter is important. This is about kid safety. When you go to Red Hood Project, first thing it says is your new friend on Facebook, your kid's new friend is a 35-year-old predator. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is, and so we're real disappointed that she hasn't, for whatever reason, had the courtesy to answer our call to come on the show and the letter. That's important. Another leader in the whole movement is at Op Scarecrow. And there's a online newspaper called Exploitation News. You can access that through there. My Twitter account is at James D. Nico. You can always follow at Red Hood Project and follow me at Sasa D. Nico. My daughter is handling Pinterest for that now, you may have seen. So it's really fast moving. And the lines, as Sandy Garasino, I suggest people listen to the Social Network show, listen to Sandy Garasino. She's reporting every 2 weeks on what's going on. It's just it's like a war against people that want to hurt kids and are hurting kids.
The pleasure of sitting in and helping film the Carol Todd interview you and Dr. Jane Kowalski had on the Social Network show, and talk about reality. When you see someone that experienced that, and have them talk about it. Could you go a little bit into that for us?
Okay, well, Carol is a teacher. She's a professional. She teaches young kids in Canada with special needs. So Carol's been really involved with kids that have needed special attention for her whole career. Her daughter Amanda was stalked by a sexual predator on Facebook, is my understanding, and basically that escalated into a tremendous, almost a campaign by this particular stalker and his group. We were alarmed to know that Amanda, as a minor, very young, was manipulated into exposing herself online, and that picture went into, like pedophile chat room groups. I mean, it's just crazy what's going on out there. Amanda was also beat up offline because people were making fun of her. So there was a struggle. She ended up committing suicide just under a year ago, and that got a lot of our attention. There's been others. Rehtaeh Parsons in Canada. I do a call to, and I respect Glenn Canning, the father of Rehtaeh Parsons. But she died actually just about 2 months ago. Same thing.
Wow.
Was hounded everywhere she went for 8 months, and finally committed suicide by hanging. Audrey Pott in Saratoga, California, suicide by hanging after being raped. It's just girls, and it's getting worse. A girl jumped out of a window in Italy, third-story window. 12-year-old, I believe, and so there's all kind. This is crazy. And at Op Scarecrow on Twitter is the best place to see the paper coming out daily. We're the headlines most issues because we're on the front lines of it. And the Social Network Association, that's where you can see too at SocialNet you can see it through my Twitter handle, but the socialnetworkassociation.com. We want people to join us. We're going to be contributing part of the sign-up fees to the Amanda Todd Legacy. And by the way, Carol gave me this shirt for you. Here you go, man.
Wow.
When she was here, and
wow.
It's a heartbreaker, but it's important because that's the legacy to Amanda Todd. And it's important. Amanda, before she committed suicide, before she hung herself, did a video, and the last I heard, there were 20 million YouTube hits on this. Yeah. And so that's important. Carol, you can read more about Carol Todd at the socialnetworkassociation.com. Just you click on About, and then the team, and then I'm there, and the whole gang is there. Not everybody, but Carol is certainly there. And then you can see various ways to get in contact with her. Red Hood Project is very important because Sandy is also an attorney. So there's, and also now we hear that the person that was the predator with Amanda Todd is resurfaced. That's at Op Scarecrow.
Wow.
Exploitation News, which the online newspaper, which anyone can get off my site.
Yeah.
And so that's the essence, man. And it's just not. It's getting worse. So that's the bottom line. So we're trying to get a handle on it, but it's just it's crazy. But we're making progress.
Definitely. We'll continue the amazing work and everything you're doing. And for those that don't know, your blog, you've been blogging.
Yeah, exactly.
Where can they go check out your blog?
Well, the best place for us online is to go to the socialnetworkstation.com, and then you just click on blog, and that's the key place, because every update we get, it eventually ends up there. And please, anyone comment. We hope you comment. We want to hear from you because we can't do this alone. This is worldwide.
Right.
They say there's, I've heard the term, I believe Sandy said it on the last show, and I'll end it with this unless you have anything, is that there's 750,000 registered sex offenders in the U.S. alone, and every one of them can get a Facebook account.
Yep.
And they don't just target one. They target,
many.
Lots and lots of kids. So, it's an uphill battle, but with everyone's help, joining the association, you can join the association for $1 for a lifetime membership. And that's the idea. We just want to get people involved, to help kids.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bottom line. So.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, thank you so much. Asia, I don't know if you have any other final
Anything?
questions.
No,
thoughts?
you've given me more information to protect my niece, so
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, and please stay in touch, and because we'll help any way we can. We also have really important, just in ending too, at the socialnetworkassociation.com. There's a resource guide for cyberbullying. It's worldwide. It's cutting edge. It'll be constantly updated, and you can download that. And now you've got it. No matter where you are in the world, you know who to call and who not to call in a way. So that's it.
Awesome. Very
Okay.
well.
Fantastic.
All right. Well,
Thank
Jim,
you.
thank you so
Okay.
much. You've given our audience a lot of great insight and hopefully be able to help a lot of people out there.
Thanks,
so thank
man.
you.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Asia.
Thank you.
No problem.